Welcome back. Today we're making an old-fashioned dessert called Apple Pandowdy. It's basically an apple pie, same ingredients, but with the top crust broken up. Some people call this a rustic dessert. I like it because it doesn't have to be perfect and it looks really good in the pan. If you don't like crimping pie or decorating top crust, this is your dessert. Definitely a great recipe to make with the kids. Let's get started with the ingredients. You're going to need 6 tablespoons of butter, 6 Granny Smith apples, 1 cup packed brown sugar, 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour, 1 tablespoon vanilla extract, 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and 1 pie dough, whether it's store-bought or homemade, and then some sanding sugar for decorating. Start by peeling and chopping the apples, and then in a big bowl, add the chopped apples, cinnamon, and vanilla. Now add a little bit of salt and the flour. Flour is used for thickener in this. On the stove, melt the butter on low and let it brown a little bit, and then add in the brown sugar. Stir that until it's somewhat dissolved, and then add that into the apples. Take a spatula and mix everything together. Make sure that everything is mixed consistently, that you've got all the spices mixed in, and that the apples are evenly coated. Your apple chunks should look like this after you've done. They're going to give off a little bit of water. Now I'm using a cast iron skillet for this, but you can also use a Pyrex or any other kind of baking dish. Once you've poured the apples in the pan, make sure that you even out the surface. You don't want to have gaps or peaks or valleys in the surface of the apples. Also, spoon in the rest of that juice. Make sure you've got it all in the pan. Your baking dish should be somewhat full, maybe about 3/4 full, and an even surface. Now you're going to roll out your pie crust on a floured surface. Make sure this is really cold. It could be homemade or store-bought, and then you're going to use a knife or a pizza cutter to cut little 1 by 1 inch squares. These don't have to be perfect. This is what makes it a pandowdy. As you can see from mine, they're a little rough, but these are used randomly across the surface of the pie for the crust. That's what makes it a pandowdy. Immediately take those squares and arrange them randomly across the surface. It's okay to have gaps. You want to have that. That's part of the look. And then use an egg wash and paint each one of those squares. This is going to help this brown in the oven. Next, you're going to sprinkle with this sanding sugar or sparkling sugar. I get mine at Michael's. Sprinkle it generously, and if you don't have this kind of sugar, you can use regular table sugar after you've brushed on the egg wash. It gives it a really nice look when it bakes. After you sprinkle the sugar on, bake this immediately at 375 for about 45 minutes until it's bubbly and golden. Remove it from the oven, let it cool about 15-20 minutes, serve it immediately. I love it with ice cream. I hope you all enjoy this recipe. Please follow me on YouTube. My channel's name is CookBakeLearn. Enjoy and have a good holiday.